Birra Fanelli is a beer based in Italian tradition. It is a high-quality, natural, organic beer passed down from generation to generation. The Birra Fanelli is carefully handcrafted in a plant located in Sorel-Tracy, Quebec. It is truly Italian quality beer.
We're back in the studio.
I love it. I love studios.
Same.
They're the best. They're the best.
I love studios.
I love studios.
That's your big intro? I love studios.
It's where everything happens.
True. Very, very true.
I like egg rolls.
We have the logo and everything.
Yeah.
Spruce it up
It's
a
a
little
new
bit.
look. It's a new look.
It's exciting.
It's
It
a
would be
new
really
day.
cool if you can animate that we can pick up
Yes.
the glass.
Imagine Steph can do that.
I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
That's actually
No,
so
you can't.
cool.
Yeah. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and
I was going to
pretend.
say, I'm going to hit you over the head. You're going to
Yeah,
see
no,
a
that's a
lot of
different
glasses.
story. How's it going, ladies?
Good.
We're
Yeah.
back with a new look for Wedding Chimes with Val. The cups are still in the mix.
Yes, the cups are still
Cheers,
here.
lady. The flowers are super. The pink
Cheers,
flowers.
cheers. Look, it's the flowers from the
Flowers, but we got a new lamp. Look at that. The logo.
I got the lamp.
The
lamp,
logo's
the newest
there.
edition.
You know, look at that. We don't mess around here.
Nope.
Wedding Chimes, we're rocking. We're rocking and rolling.
We are.
Yes, we are.
So,
We are.
so first of all, how's everything? How are you ladies doing? Are you having a good week? Are you having a good?
I'm very busy, actually. This
Same
week.
here.
Yeah.
Still in wedding season.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like it's not ending.
Oh no, it never ends.
It just keeps on going. I'm not complaining. Very lucky. But yeah, it'd be nice just to have a weekend off. But hey, I love what I
A
do.
weekend off?
That'd be nice.
It's like 18 years I don't have a
That'd
weekend
be
off.
nice. Just
No.
one weekend, you know?
Yeah,
Just
doesn't
the
happen.
one.
Well, you're popular. You're
Yeah.
a wedding planner.
That
You
is
picked the
true.
wrong business to be in.
Very true, but look, I'm lucky I have great clients, so I can't say anything about that.
To be fair, compared to like back in the old days,
Yeah.
there's more weddings that are not on Saturdays as opposed to
That's
before.
very true,
It
yeah.
never happened.
I have a
Now-
lot of Sunday weddings.
Yeah, me
This
too.
year, Sunday weddings are popular.
But is it a budgetary thing? I
No,
would
not
imagine
even.
so.
Oh, no, no,
No,
at all.
not even. It's
No,
not.
full price, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no way.
Yeah.
On a Sunday?
I overheard, I remember talking to one of my past clients, again, this is what they're telling me, that basically the Saturday, Sunday's the same price, so you don't get a discount on a Sunday
wow.
wedding.
Absolutely, you
Yeah,
don't get a
it's not,
discount, no.
and some venues, I don't know for sure, not charge even more because they have to have more staff because it's back to back for the staff,
Well,
right?
Oh, it's
If your
true.
boss asks you to go in to work on a Sunday, are you gonna go for more or less money? Well, it's true, right? If
It's
he asks
true,
you to
yeah.
go, I mean,
It's a whole
I gotta go on a
staff,
Sunday.
yeah.
I'm not gonna,
Yeah, it depends
Or
again.
Monday, Tuesday. It's the same price. I gotta pay my guys.
I did, when I just started, mind you, it was a Thursday wedding, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
wow.
I don't know, I forget the reason why she picked a Thursday, but it worked out. It was still very nice. It was still a very nice wedding, but Thursday, yeah.
Wow.
And ever since then, I never had a Thursday wedding. I'm not going to say no, but it's always something. And speaking about weddings,
Yes.
for
Yes.
I love the
today's
segue.
topic,
Today's topic is.
wedding day timelines.
I love it.
You need timelines.
Oh, yes, you
Some
need-
of us who are not structured need timelines.
You do need, especially for the wedding day, you need a very well-structured timeline. It's very important, and that's where I come in. That's where I shine, I like to say, because timelines are very important. It guides the whole day of the
Yep.
wedding, but it also helps your vendors that you hired to know what's happening, right? It's that simple. So I always tell my couples, them start your timelines early. Like, don't start it the month before the wedding. It's too late because some vendors can be asking already. So start it, I want to say 2 months before the wedding. You could do this on Excel, spreadsheet, you don't need a fancy platform to do it. And basically talk to your vendors first. The first person I would talk to is your venue. Like for the food service, everything, when you could set up, because you have to put it on there. Like what time can your florist set up? What time can the band set up? The DJ, everyone, right?
Yeah.
Talk to your venue first. They'll give you that info. Then talk to your DJ or band. Very important because they're kind of controlling the night too in a way. You know,
They're controlling all
yeah.
of it. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
Some members are very controlling.
Well, not.
You got it.
But with that being said, it's important too because you want to give the vendors the time that they need to do setup, sound check, all that stuff.
Yeah, makes sense, for
Because some venues don't allow the night before because they might have an event or might not have the time. So I always say talk to your venue first, talk to your vendors how much time they need, and give them also buffer time too. It's like don't don't be strict with the time because things might happen. You never know, right? Because when I make the timelines for my couples, I make it like a first version. There's usually 5 versions I have.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
versions?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Before
That's perfection.
exactly before the vendors get it, they don't see 1 to 4. It's just 5, and then there's still minor changes, but that is more on my end, what I need to know. But just as a general rule of thumb for the other vendors, just to know what's going on.
Okay.
You know, and usually, you know, I'd say talk to your venue, like I was saying, they know like what time the food can be served at based on what time ceremony is going to be at, who's doing the ceremony. Is it a DJ playing the music? Is it a live band? Who's doing what?
Yeah.
Because that person needs prep too, right?
Yep, of course.
So, you know, always ask your vendors ahead of time, saying, hey, I'm making my timeline now. How much time do you need? What time are you going to come drop things off? Pick up. Do they have to pick things up? The rental company, who's doing what?
Oh, that's true.
Right? Because if you're
Yeah.
renting everything, they need time to deliver it. And sometimes they might not be able to do it the day before because they're busy too, right?
Yep.
So if they can, great. If not, who's going to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and also not only that, but it's also a good guide for all the vendors so they could talk to each other. They know what's going on. The DJ could talk to the venue saying, hey, food service is at 6. Okay, let me get, like, they have an idea what's going on in the night.
Oh, nice.
And also, too, it's important to also have the ceremony on there. So what time ceremony is going to be at, who's doing what, the lineup, who's walking when. So whoever is in charge, if you don't have a wedding planner, the venue coordinator knows what's going on. So they have an idea of what's happening and they could base it around that.
Now, you can always have delays too, right? So what happens in the event of a delay?
So
is that like version
There
6?
will always
There
be
always,
a delay.
no matter how much I could perfect the schedule,
Yeah, it's impossible.
like mine is color coded by section. Literally, it's different colors per like section. But even to the best of my ability, I can't predict things. Even I wish I could.
Yeah.
I can't. I think
It's impossible.
It is impossible. I think I only ever had 2 weddings that were on time, and that was just a coincidence. Literally, it was because
just hurry up and get this over.
It's still it's and the thing is, what I noticed, what usually takes time is the ceremony because guests. So my rule is, let's say if your ceremony is at 3 or 4, you tell the guests to come an hour before. But again, not everyone listens. It happens, traffic, parking, whatever. And I start ceremony when half the guests are there.
Okay.
So the most important people are there for your ceremony, and then halfway full.
Yeah.
So if you're expecting 100 guests, they're all not going to come, obviously ceremony. So if 50 are there, or 45, 50, we start. I don't care. We're getting it over with.
Okay.
That's my rule of thumb, and I'm very clear to the client, my couples. I'm like, look, if everyone's here, that's important. I usually take the groom to come look to make sure everyone's there. Okay, important people, then we start.
Okay.
And I always put on this timeline a buffer for ceremony, like, because you know, sometimes you might be walking faster, slower, more nervous, right? So I always try to schedule that in the timeline.
And the walking down the aisle for
yeah.
real?
Oh yeah, big time. Because I know things will happen. What happens if the officiant is talking too fast because they're nervous, right?
Oh my God.
If it's a family friend officiating, which you can in Quebec,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not a professional that does this and they know to pace themselves, if they're too nervous, well, we're gonna have a 30-minute ceremony to a 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes.
5 minutes. Do
Yeah.
you?
It actually happened to me once. It was a 10-minute ceremony. So I had to scramble, tell the back, get the food ready, get cocktail hour ready, man. We're cutting close. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the bar was open early, but it happens.
Oh, boy.
And like Steph said, you can't predict that.
Oh no. Yeah. It's
You
I
know-
think the timeline is important, but the actual time that's written is not as important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
it
it's a
is.
guide.
It
It's
is
more
a
of a guide.
guide.
Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
guide.
Because I mean it's written in so much detail.
Yeah.
I've seen
Oh,
it
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, never. Like it's so 9:37. Okay,
I'm
4
guilty.
minutes later. Like it's all guesstimate. and-
It's a guesstimate.
yeah, and that's cool. What's important is the order that it happens
What's
in.
happening? Yeah, the first
Uh,
dance, and then
yeah.
this, and then that, and then you go here. You do your speech. Speeches are important too to put. Like
100%.
who's doing
you
the
need
speech?
to know, yeah, because it changes everything.
Yeah,
It'll
could,
change. Yeah, I guess
It
it'll change
changes
your
every- and-
timeline
It
for
does.
sure.
And if you're gonna write a timeline, then you need to know the speeches how long they're gonna
Yeah.
take. Because otherwise, if you write your timeline and then one person just does a 30-minute speech and it
I
happens.
always tell 5 minutes, no more than 5.
Well,
I say cut it at 5 because then it's gonna be like a whole like.
but even though they
presentation.
say okay,
Yeah.
when they're on a roll,
Yeah, you can't
you
stop.
can't.
you know,
yeah.
or they said, I remember one wedding, I'll never forget. I was in Ottawa, and oh my God, we went. Our
Mm-hmm.
guys, let's go. Daniel tells me, guys, let's go. side stage, because the minute the speeches are done, there's 2 speeches. The minute they're done, we got to start right away. I said, okay, let's go side stage.
right.
So we're ready, standing
Of
on the
course.
side. And I'm talking to the band saying, okay, guys, we're going to do this, that, and the speeches start. Well, the first person comes up, it was the bride and groom speech.
Okay.
They take it and like the fucking bride, sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. I'm in the business. But like she started a speech and she went through the list of everybody.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by
Meaning
everybody?
The whole table, there was 2 tables of, like, there was like 20 people.
Okay.
Oh my
To my maid of honors.
Okay.
Brenda, oh my God, I've known you since the 5th grade. I love
my
you. Your
God,
enthusiasm is
stop,
blah, 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 blah,
stop.
blah, 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 blah. Everybody.
So the
right?
whole-
So her speech was literally 25 minutes. So the band, we're standing there and we're
Waiting
getting
for
tired. We're
20
waiting.
Yeah, you are.
And then we're like, oh, the groom has to say his speech.
Oh, no.
So the groom grabs the mic and says, well, I'm not going to be as long as that. I'm going to make it short and sweet. And we're like, okay, thank God. So we get on stage,
Ready to go.
double the amount of time.
No.
He goes through the whole list. So Frank, oh my God, Frank, in the 2nd grade, we were buddies. And he
Are you
goes through
serious?
we were standing there for an hour,
believe
just
you.
standing there,
Yeah.
like our legs. By the last 15 minutes, you see the band on the stage sitting down because we're tired. We're like standing
it's
like
a lot,
chooches.
yeah.
It was the longest speech in the world, and that's cool. But if we would have known, we wouldn't have stood there like
For an hour.
10
just
people
chilling,
standing there like an hour.
Yeah.
And then, like, by that time, the sweet table had to open at 11. It was
Yeah.
like 10:50 by the time they finished.
Yeah, by the time, yeah.
So they're like, okay, get the party started. And we played 3 songs.
yeah.
Okay, we got to open the sweet table. Well,
Swear.
Oh no.
forget it now, So,
And it's important. That's why timeline is
Yeah.
very important
Yeah.
because
but
But
how do
wouldn't
you
be a wedding planner be important by then too?
Of
Because
course,
the
but
wedding
how do you
planner has
stop-
to say, look, you're half an hour here. It's got to
but
be.
how do you stop it? How do you stop if
I-
an Uncle Jack,
I
comes
don't-
and says, hey, I'd like to say something? What do you say? No?
I always, when I
it's kind
come,
of hard, actually.
it's a very tricky situation. But I guess what I learned over time is I always talk to the DJ about that. So the DJs I work with, we talk separate after schedule's made. We talk like, hey, we have 3 speeches. So on the day of the wedding, he kind of just takes over the speeches. He goes sees them. So the DJs I work with, they go talk to, okay, the next person, okay, are you ready? Do you still want to do it? He gauges that.
Okay.
And usually some DJs do it, some DJs don't. They ask for the speeches ahead of time from the couple saying,
Oh, smart.
some do, but everyone has their own way of doing it, and they gauge how long it takes. Because on my schedule, I just put speech. Because I know it could change on the wedding. I know maybe someone won't say it. But I know, okay, I have 3 speeches. We get them done before everything, so we get out of the way. And then the DJ goes up to the couple, I do saying, hey, are you ready to do it, your speech now? Are you
Oh, yeah,
ready?
yeah, all the time.
I always make sure, because things change. Maybe they don't want to do speech. I had many bride and groom say, oh, I don't want to do one finally. They're too nervous. Or just
Either
the
that or
bride.
they're
Yeah.
drunk.
Or both.
Or
And
maybe
it's
that's when they're
funny.
long.
And sometimes you do it this whole timeline and the speech
Yeah.
is there. And like it's been, you did 5 drafts. And then the best man comes and says, okay, I got to do my speech
Yeah.
right away. And you're like, well, no, it's at 9:30.
Yeah.
No. I want to, I'm going to be nervous the whole time.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
feel like waiting there. I want to get drunk now. So let me do my speech.
And it happens. You
And you're
can't-
like, okay, change it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and on the wedding day, that's why the timeline is like a guide. The
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
don't matter. It's what's happening. As long as for me, before the party starts.
As long as you know what
Yeah.
has to happen and what's
Exactly.
important that you don't want to miss. Do you
So,
want
like,
to do the bouquet? Do you want to throw the garter belt and all
Many
that?
people don't do gardens.
I know,
anymore.
I
it's
heard.
finished.
I was hearing that.
A
The
lot of
garters, they
people
don't
I
do
haven't
anymore.
seen it this
I
year.
didn't do one.
Well, we didn't do it
I
this
I found
year.
the
no.
garter so sexy though.
I never know. Kevin,
like it.
my husband, felt very uncomfortable in front of my.
Really?
He didn't want in front of my brother, in front of my dad, in front of my grandfather. He's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay.
Really?
He told me that. I remember. I'm like, so because I
Oh.
asked him, do you want to? Because I'd have to get one, right? He's like, not from your brother, not from your
Not from
father,
your
and not
grandmother.
from my grandfather. He's like, there's no way in heck. He said he's gonna do one, and I'm like, that's fine. I can't.
I haven't seen it this year. I didn't see it
I
once.
heard that they don't do it
didn't.
anymore.
It was so funny. I totally forgot to toss my bouquet. It didn't matter. I didn't want to give it away.
I haven't even seen that.
The bouquet toss, they remove that too, or
Yes,
remove it.
I've
They
seen.
don't-
I've seen some of my clients do
Yeah.
it, but some don't. They,
Well, I know
yeah.
some brides have a mock bouquet.
A
let's
fake
say.
No,
one.
that's
you
year
throw it,
20
yeah.
years ago, Lisa.
No, they still do that. I have weddings. I have
I haven't
weddings.
seen one this year.
They buy it.
Well, you're not in the zone
I
then.
It depends.
I'm a lot
I
in the
think
zone.
She said, I don't see it.
it's
Or she still does see it.
it's 50-50. It depends who. Some say yes, some are shy, some say no. So I'm like, you know what?
I hate you.
They whack.
I've
Whack
done
it,
I've
boom.
done like at least 35 weddings this year, and I don't remember one that did
It
any of that.
depends.
Mind you, I take a break and maybe the DJ doesn't
Yeah,
have it in the green room. but
maybe it depends. Like even for me on the schedule, I put bouquet toss, but it doesn't always happen the time. Sometimes it happens like later in the night when I leave because everyone's just partying and they're like the DJ's like, oh, by the way.
No, they don't even do it that much. Cake cutting
God.
sometimes.
Cake?
Once in a while.
Cake they do. Some make an announcement, but some don't. Some
Yeah.
just cut it on the side,
Yeah.
nothing, and some
Lord.
make like a whole like show out of it.
Well, I used to be a whole show.
It used to be,
Yeah.
yeah. It used to be a whole
and then
show.
you had to
yeah,
change.
mine.
And
Like-
then you would put some
Put it on your
face.
face.
I
No,
don't-
but they would take the big thing and just shovel
Yeah,
it in
oh
your
my
mouth,
God.
you know?
Yeah, I'd be so annoyed. I'd be like, my makeup took too much time to be.
Yeah,
ugh.
fuck it. I would be like,
But what
just
would you
punch
say?
him back.
Oh yeah.
You're going to remember this wedding.
What would you say is the most important elements of the timeline?
I think ceremony obviously, but besides ceremony, it's when you enter the room. So your wedding party and that sets the tone for the evening. So you have to execute that well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
Like
important.
that.
The entrances.
I want to say the first dance,
Yeah.
which is like the key. Everyone's waiting for that.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Everyone knows they're gonna eat, but it's more the first dance. So usually I do entrance, bride and groom, and then first dance right away.
Very
'Cause
nice. I like
don't-
that.
I don't want the bride and groom to get nervous or be anxious the whole time, right? To be waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
So right away we do one after another. People eat whatever. Speeches, they're important, but you can always play around with that.
I would do it during the meal.
Yeah,
Speeches.
typically that's when it's done. And
Yeah.
the other one is the parent dance, which people don't want to miss, like the father-daughter dance
I
and the
agree.
mother-son.
Yeah.
A lot of people I noticed don't want to miss that. So I remember I have some people, like the guests saying, what are they doing? I'm like, hey, 20 minutes. You say, go to the washroom, go smoke, come in.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to miss it.
Yeah.
So besides that, those to me are the key things. Cake cutting, like Steph said, no one does it. No one, it's not a show anymore. It's not like, oh my gosh, we have to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not, it depends. Like when I do the first version of a schedule, I put everything. Some they're like, oh, remove this. I don't want that. We don't do it. Okay, fine. No problem with me. We don't have to do it.
The only thing
Yeah.
I think that hurts sometimes is the sweet table is it's important.
It is, of course.
But sometimes it's not judged. And it happened to me this Saturday. So basically from the end of the meal to the sweet table, because the meal took a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay,
it was
happens.
like 10:30
Ooh.
at the end of the meal.
Oh.
And then they wanted to have
Oh, the end. So they finished the last. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, well,
okay.
I mean, by the time they finished the course,
Yeah,
the
by the
dances.
time, yeah,
So
yeah.
when the party time started, it was like 10:35, and at 11 they wanted to do the
Damn.
sweet table.
Like,
Oh,
so people
like-
were
that's
just,
a bit tight.
that's a bit tight.
That's like 11 is like, wow, this is
just-
where people should be going ballistic,
Mental,
right?
Yeah, that's
right?
the party, not
But you know, they want to also make sure everyone sees the sweet table
before they leave.
Before
people,
they leave, so
because if you're elderly or you have a kid,
I was just going to say
you're
that. It
gonna
could be
leave.
age
You're gonna be leaving.
directed
Yeah.
also, right? Like if you're young, you're going to be there wee hours of the morning. I don't know if they do the wee hours of the morning
It
anymore.
depends.
No, I mean-
I think the only wedding I've done this year that lasted late that I heard of was 2:30. That's the latest that I heard.
Okay.
Again, it depends. But remember, too, it depends your guests, how old they are. If you have a lot of people with younger children that have to be home, that are part of the wedding, or elderly folks, they have to drive home, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I try to, like Steph said, try to make sure everything's done in a reasonable time. But sometimes you can't predict delays, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
like,
mean?
do you postpone if you're like how? You know, is it a hard 11 o'clock for the
Well, that's
sweet
what I was
table?
going to say.
Do
Like,
you
you have
postpone
to
it?
juggle.
What I always do is if there's a change in the schedule, let's say like the sweet table dessert, I always go to the couple first. I'm like, hey guys, do you want to push it down or do you want to keep it at that time? So I talk to them the day of the wedding. Like I go up to them saying, hey, by the way, since we're running late, do you want the sweet table out now and who cares? Or do you want to push it a bit later?
Well, because some
Yeah.
people want a big intro,
Exactly.
big, production when it comes to the sweet
Yeah,
table,
and
right?
usually there's a lot of sweets. There's a lot of food on that sweet table that they spend money on.
But it's funny because if they don't have enough time to dance, how the heck can you get an appetite to go and eat at the sweet table if you finish at like 10:30 at night?
Yeah. It's
You know,
true.
plus, I mean, even the venue itself with the servers,
Yep,
right? In terms
yep.
of the service, is are they ready? Are they
That's
clearing
the
on
thing.
time?
So
So how could you predict
you
that?
can't. So I always go talk to them if there's if there's like a small little change in the speech, who cares? Like we could. It's more the DJ that takes. But the big thing, like the sweet table, I always go up to them. If we're running late, I'm like, hey, are you okay if we push it by 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And if they say no, we want it. Okay, we'll get it ready for that time.
Yeah.
It'll be ready now.
Yeah.
And that's it. Sometimes you can't predict changes. You can't predict these things because some of the couples say, well, I want it so people leave. Who cares if we're still dancing? When people leave, they grab something and go, right? So it depends.
Yeah.
It depends too what you're gonna have on the sweet table.
Yeah.
If it's just cupcakes and coffee, okay, it's not as elaborate.
It's simple.
But
It's a
very
simple
it's
thing.
simple, which is
Yeah.
fine. But if you have more food, like a charcuterie station, the smoked meat, the coffee, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So you'd want people to at least enjoy that. So you have to gauge how much of that do you want people to really enjoy.
Now, in your timeline,
Yeah.
what do you consider first? Is it the elderly guest and the young? How is it that you create a strategic timeline, let's say?
think-
Is it based only on the couple or is it based on predominantly the guests?
I always ask when I'm building it, I'm like, hey, how many elderly folks are you know who you're inviting? If it's people that have no kids, fine. Forget the kids. If there's some elderly grandparents, I'll have that into consideration. So I always gauge what the guests are, how old they are.
But do you ask your clients who
I
the
ask,
guests
yeah,
are?
I
or-
ask general, like, okay, how many elderly folks are going to be there? Is there any children, small children that have a bedtime?
Yeah.
Are those parents coming, or do they have a sitter come to pick them up or family member?
Yeah.
So based on that information, I gauge what things should happen.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's a couple. They make the final decision is on them, not on me. So I do based on what they want, what they don't want. They tweak this, that. That's why there's 5 versions. And then only reason why, and then once it's final, when I think, okay, everything's good, and I look everything over one more time, and then that's it. But of course, on the wedding day, things can change, and that's normal. It's to be expected. So,
But did you ever encounter, let's say, an issue?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Good and bad.
Once I had a wedding, this was a few years ago, that everything in the beginning ceremony wasn't on time. Like the bride was stuck in traffic. It was bad. But then somehow ceremony went well. Everything worked out.
Yeah.
And we actually caught up on the timeline. We actually made it. We actually caught up on the time perfectly.
Okay.
So it just worked out. Like, yeah, it was rough for ceremony. We were late. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to push everything down. But finally, ceremony went perfect. Everything worked out.
Okay.
And then sometimes things don't work out. It could start off well. Ceremony is going well, everything's good. But then there's things like, example, the
Oh,
photographers.
yeah.
The photographers.
No names mentioned.
No
of course.
names are mentioned, but some photographers like to get creative during cocktail hour. And they like
Okay.
to really get creative with pictures, guests, inspirational moments, I want to say. And sometimes they just take the cake and they're like, I'm like, yes, you have an hour. I'm going to give you an hour to take pictures, like
Yeah.
of the couple, whatever. But no more, because then I have to cue the kitchen, right? And the DJ and everything for the night. So that's why it's important also to communicate with your photographers on a list of pictures that you want, a separate list just for them.
Okay.
So they know to take only those pictures, not more, not less. Because if they don't get those pictures before they leave, they're going to be coming up to you or to your planner saying, hey, I need to still take these pictures.
Okay.
So
yeah, makes
that's
sense.
important too, to talk to your photographer saying, hey, here's the timeline. How much time do you need to take all these pictures? What time are you going to start at?
Yeah, because they leave after a certain time.
At a certain time, they're only contracted for, let's say, 10 hours or 8 hours, 6, depending what you signed for their contract, right? So, like, at the end of the day, you have to talk to them too. So that's why we meet with the photographer separate, or I talk to the photographer separate, saying, look, you have this amount of time. This is what's happening. Here's the schedule. You figure out where you're going to take the pictures. It's not up to me.
Yeah.
I leave that for the photographers.
Yeah.
But I keep in mind too, saying, hey, if they take a lot of pictures, I have to give them time during cocktail hour. And that's where things get a bit messy, because if they're not done the pictures, they're going to come to me saying, hey, I'm not finished.
Okay.
And
And,
I'm like-
that can really delay you after
And then
that.
it could delay the first service, it could delay the entrance, it could delay everything.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
by a lot, but it could delay a bit. So that's why it's important to communicate to your photographer as well. because they play a vital role in your timeline.
But even your maître d', I would imagine,
The manager too. Well, you don't know who it is that day. Usually, you know the day of.
Yeah.
But as a planner, I talk to the maître d', I talk to the DJ, I talk to the photographer.
Yeah.
To make sure we're all on the same time. So if the photographer says, "Hey, I'm gonna take golden hour pictures when the sun sets," because that's the newest thing.
Really?
Yeah, golden hour.
Oh, golden hour.
Yeah. So when the sun's setting, they go outside to take a picture depending where the sun is.
Oh, sweet.
So they need like 15 minutes.
Okay, they have a window.
So they have a window. So they tell me, okay, when can I do it? Because the sun's like setting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't happen because just how the timing is of the schedule, like of the day, how things are going.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does happen. So it's very important to talk to your photographers, be honest, saying, look, this was going on. You're only here for 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, I think the photographer is one of the most important, if I'm not mistaken, especially during the timeline, because they have those set hours.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't, unless if you charge more to stay extra an extra hour. It did happen before, which it's up to the couple if they want you to stay extra. It's discretion, not up to me, it's up to the couple.
Yeah.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it's important to communicate with all the vendors. Because at the end of the day, I'm not in charge of the photographer, you're not. They know what they have to do, right?
Yeah.
But they work hand in hand with all the other vendors. But remember, at the end of the day, they're there to capture the more important parts, like the first dance, all the key moments.
Yeah.
So as the bride and groom, you give them a list of what you want a shot list, saying, okay, I want a picture of the maid of honor, I want a picture of this. Like, let's say the top 10 pictures you must have.
Yeah.
But some photographers don't work with a shot list. They just go based off inspiration.
Okay.
So you have to talk to your photographer to see, do they do a picture list or not?
Okay.
So I leave that up to the photographer.
So in terms of the timeline, what is the most important, other than the photographer, let's say in the ceremony, during the course of your evening?
I want to say the DJ, because they and the band, DJ and their band, because they're running the show at one point. They have to read the room, get everyone up to dance, speeches, that's their job to read the room.
Yeah.
Basically, because if they're going to put on a song to dance, well, everyone's going to be dancing. There's no time to go sit down and eat, right? So usually if everyone's dancing, that's when you do golden hour, get it? When everyone's distracted, so you can go and no one's going to know that you're gone for 15 minutes. So that's how you play with it. Yeah,
nice.
Because then the DJ talks...
You mean they leave the wedding for...
Yeah, for golden hour pictures, to take pictures for sunset.
And I can tell you, as doing wedding, and this is a piece of advice.
Yes.
The minute the bride and groom, you cannot want a party and not be on the dance floor.
But some do it though. Yeah, I know. I agree 100%. If you're not there, they'll be like, "Where are you?"
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, you're there for you.
Just
Yeah, exactly.
The party is not as. If you want people to party, you have to.
You have to be present. You have to be on the floor. But I try to do it earlier, do it before the entrance, do it before they need it. But look, always works out at the end.
Yeah, of course.
But besides the band, the DJ, they're most important too, because they're running the show. Basically after.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's it. But
Yeah.
I would imagine that whatever happens or whatever is inserted in between in terms of, I don't know, whatever.
Like the food,
cake
the
cutting,
speech,
speeches.
Exactly.
You have to factor in, because your musician, or let's say your DJ, their repertoire or their songs
they
can
have
only
to know,
last so long.
And they know that, so they have to time it, like, okay, I'm going to do this in a slow dance, or do this in a happy dance, like something like a happy song or whatever, upbeat.
Yeah.
So it depends too on what you want, how you want your night to be, right?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
So everyone wants a party, right? And it's the DJ and the band's
That's the hardest.
job.
Sometimes it's harder. It's to get people dancing sometimes could be a challenge depending on the people.
I've seen it.
But other times it's the other way around. Sometimes there's a part, and that's where you have to kind of judge and say, wow, like I've done parties with an event planner. I've done a lot, obviously.
Yeah,
but I've done one where the people just like, we could have played La Danse du Canard.
And they were going to dance?
They wanted to party
no matter what.
Hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the wedding planner saying, no, we got to do this. No, we got to do this. No, we got to do that. And I'm trying to have a conversation saying, I get it. Let me take care of it.
Yeah.
I will make sure we get it done. Just that it's not going to follow your timeline right now. I'm going to make them party. In 20 minutes, I can wind it down. And then when they serve something else, we're going to get them. And then we'll do that. Like,
I learned that a long time ago too.
Yeah, you got to be ready.
I learned that at the end of the day, we're all professionals and we want the same goal.
Yeah.
So I learned early on to let go and let the DJ or band just take care of it, because they know what they're doing. I trust them.
Well, if
Yeah.
I look at the crowd and I say, man, they want to dance. Like by the third song, I know that if my dinner set, I can tell. I always play the first 2-3 songs, a little mellow,
Right.
and I'm looking around and I'm judging.
Right.
Are they
Yeah,
looking?
yeah, yeah.
Are they staring? Are they ready to? Are they antsy?
Ready to party?
So I'm like, okay, this might be a dinner that is just sit down and listen to the band, enjoy the music, and eat.
Yeah.
But by the third song, I'm like, oh no, these guys want to party. So
And you can read that. You
by
have
my
the
fourth
experience,
song, I'm like doing a song that's like bang, and all of a sudden the dance floor is jammed. Yeah, but we didn't serve the whatever it is.
They'll go and get
They
it.
want to party.
They wanna party.
Let them party.
Let them party.
And that's one thing I'll never forget. The first wedding I ever did, that's what the DJ told me from that wedding. Like, look, let me handle it, because I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was still learning.
Yeah.
He said, let me handle it. He's like, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
like, if they want to have a good time, let them have a good time.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I do my timeline, and I know, yes, not everything's gonna happen at that time.
Yeah.
That'd be insane. And I learned to just let it go.
It helps
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
It's important because it helps to know what's important. You
Yes.
don't want to
Yeah.
forget.
Of
You don't want to
course,
say,
yeah.
"Oh my God, this guy it was this guy's birthday. We forgot."
Yeah.
You know, we
Or-
didn't announce it.
Yeah,
Or an announcement or something, of course.
you want to
yeah.
you want to make sure everything that the bride and groom want gets done.
And
you have a
that's
special
normal, yeah.
song. You want to cut the cake. Some people don't. Some people do. You need to know, and you need to have it written down.
And I think that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you know what you're doing. We're all professionals. We all have a common goal.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the schedule is very important, and I take a lot of pride doing it. Very
All
much.
5 copies.
All 5 copies. You should see how many copies. I'm like version 1, version 2, version 3, good version, version 4, the better version, version 5, final. No editing.
Better version of version 3, but almost version 4.
It gets complicated, because everything, like a slightest change can make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
And I had couples that they don't care about the timeline, so I have to make it based on what they tell me. Some care a lot, but some are in the middle. They're like, yeah, but
Live the moment.
they're flex-
Live the moment.
It's your wedding day. You should be living in the moment. It's the one day that you can. And you hired professionals, so you have to trust us to some extent.
Well, that's the thing. I would think as a bride and groom, you don't want to have to worry about,
Exactly,
okay, I
yeah.
have to cut the cake now.
No,
or I have to go and open the sweet table.
And what I usually do is when it's cake cutting, I always am like, okay, in 10 minutes you're going to cut the cake. Are we still good with that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So,
because I'd like to sort of wing it. You know?
And,
It's time. We have
and
to
I
let's
noticed,
do it. you
like
know?
on the wedding day, you're gonna be so busy, so preoccupied that it's my job to
what it
remind
is.
you. I'm like, hey, in 10 minutes, do you still want to do your first dance with your dad? Yes or no?
No.
So,
I'm kidding.
but some said yes, but some say, you know what? Give it an hour. I want to enjoy. I want to talk, and then we do it.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Saturday, it just happened Saturday. It was funny because we had a whole, I've worked with a lot of event planners this year. They're all really good, like so far. And we have a good rapport. There's 2 or 3 of them that like really we've worked with a good
So
10
you know
times.
them, yeah.
We know them well. And we have a pretty good rapport. But this Saturday, literally, it's the one that I said, 10:30
Yeah.
and 11, the sweet table. So we were on only for half. We were supposed to do one big dance set.
Okay.
Then the sweet table was supposed to come on, and then we were supposed to do a small little set before we go, and then the DJ parties, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're like, okay. So we're on stage, and we did like 4 or 5 songs where they partied, but then, ladies and gentlemen, the sweet table's open, so it was like, ooh. Yeah, and I'm like-
Everybody on the dance floor is like,
Yeah,
front
so
of seat.
on stage, I'm having like conversation with my with the other guy in the band. I'm like, we can't stop now.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
But they're not going to
Yeah.
dance anyways because they all
Yeah.
have plates. Like, you see people with
Yeah,
plates in
with
their
the
hand.
with the sweets and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
So I looked and I said, okay, guys, I went to the planner. Thank God she was there. And I said, listen, that whole 2-set thing, forget it. We're going to do one long set. We're going to play a couple of softer songs. Then I'm going to play a ballad, get everybody back up.
And
And,
then-
I'm going to do the party stuff all once.
Yeah.
So when
Smart.
we're done, we go and we don't come back for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling they want to party, but
Yeah.
they just haven't had. So that's
Smart,
what we
yeah.
did. We stayed on. We played a couple of soft stuff, and it was weird because this is where we're supposed to party, but
You're
they all have
supposed-
fucking poutines in
Oh
their
my
mouth
God.
and they're
Oh
eating.
my God.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I felt it. I said, "Oh, let me just play a ballad."
Yeah.
And everyone, they're
Of
all
course.
sitting. They grab,
Yeah.
and then I hit them with "We Like to Party" from the Venga Boys.
Okay.
And, and all of a sudden, the party was like bang.
But that's what you
Everybody
want
got up.
before you
Yeah.
leave, that's what you want.
Well, we didn't want exactly.
Yeah.
We wanted
Yeah.
to get the last. I hate ending when everyone's like scattered and
it's
we
not
didn't.
fun for you. After everything, you're like, come on.
And
Like,
then
Yeah.
it was a long set though. We
Yeah.
were on stage for like an hour and 35, 40 minutes.
and then the DJ took over after.
yeah, but we made sure that the last 25 minutes, half an hour was just like,
rhyming it out. Yeah,
everybody singing with us, bride and groom on the stage. Like it was a man. Then the DJ takes over, and it was perfect.
Okay, they're already pumped.
Yeah. But it was an adjustment because the timeline was like set here, set there. And
as a planner, you have to learn to just let it go too. Like at one point, I can't control everything.
Yeah.
Like I have to let it go at some point because it's gonna be crazy. Just
like I can.
Well,
but I just let it go because.
You get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so focused. I'm like, hey, it's 10:30. I'm like, okay, why isn't this happening? And usually I leave at 10:30, right? Typically I'm there the whole day. So my time ends at 10:30.
Yeah.
Give or take a few minutes because, things happen.
At 10:27.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
I'm packing up.
I'm gone.
And I'm gone.
I say, mind you, okay, before I leave, an hour before, I always go to the couple, like, okay, I'm leaving at 10:30. Everything's good. Everything's under control. Like, we talked about this. Yeah, okay, no problem. Then 10:20.
Yeah, they're all worried after that. They're all like smashed and then shit-faced.
And after 10:25, I'm like, okay, I'm leaving in 5 minutes. Don't worry, we're in good hands. Everyone's partying, whatever. And then I leave. But I make sure everything's okay. There's no issues, no situations. Because if there's a situation, I'm going to stay. I'm not going to just leave.
No, at that point, everything's done. There's the sweet table.
The night is done.
Exactly. But just to make sure that I know I left on a good note as well. Because then I feel if something happens that I could have stopped or help manage a situation, I feel bad.
Okay.
So that's why I stay as long, because remember, I'm there from 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning sometimes, so I'm there the whole day and night, right? But it's part of the job, but at the same time, it's like, if something's happening before I leave, I make sure, hey, I know for a fact that, okay, I'm going to stay to resolve a situation and then leave.
Yeah, okay.
So what do you suggest is a good timeline? Sorry, Lisa.
That's okay.
What do you suggest a good timeline? A smaller one or a bigger one?
I like, bigger because it's more explained.
No, what I mean, the more things happening or less things?
Oh, less. For
to
sure.
me, the less is more.
Less is more because if it's too many little things,
too many details,
it gets confusing not only for me but for the other vendors that have to follow along.
And besides that, for the guests, the guests just don't have as good a time if there's 18 speeches, 14 dances.
A smaller timeline, short and sweet to the point. And if something gets added like a last minute speech, okay, fine, let's have fun with it.
Yeah, that's it. Once everything is done, like the nitty gritty is done.
The nitty gritty, like the dances, the speeches, the welcome toast, your whatever toss, the cake, whatever you deem is important is done.
Yeah.
Everything else,
the main points,
everything, and the food. Depending if you're having a food station like a buffet, then it's even chiller because the buffet station stays open for 2 hours depending on how much food is there, and then we go party. So it's like even better. Or if it's a plated course, okay, first course, second, third, whatever, we schedule that in and that's it.
But do you discuss it? When do you discuss the timeline? Towards the end with your couples, or?
Oh, I started 6 months before the wedding.
Nice.
We start easy. I start getting there what they want, what they don't want, so I can start building it 3 months before.
Okay, nice.
Even 4, depending what they want. Depending if it's a seated service or if it's a buffet station for supper and cocktail hour. Is it just past canapes? Is it a buffet too? Like that
can change your timeline.
It could change the timeline because remember, if it's a plated service, I know at some point when there's no more food, they have to space it out, but they know how much to put. But if it's a buffet station, there's a lot, and they want to finish as much, and then they have to flip it depending if it's in the same room or a separate room. They have to flip. They have to clean it. And also for ceremony, speaking of flipping spaces, if the ceremony is in the same room as the reception,
I was going to say that,
we have to do a room flip. So you have to change you have to bring all the tables. So that takes at least an hour.
The bride has to flip on the dance floor 3-4 times.
There you go, 3-4 times. She tucks in the dress and the underwear and she does her cartwheels. Yeah.
So
she's like, what the hell did I do?
It's important that you speak to your venue and you know what you're getting, because your venue could say, well, usually if it's a buffet station, it takes this long based on their experience.
Holy cow.
So they could guide you to have a better idea. Because remember, the reception, your venue, can help you with the schedule, but remember they have other weddings too that they're doing that same day. There's like maybe 4 or 5 weddings depending the venue. So I think it's important to note that yes, your venue coordinator is great. They do everything they can, but they have 4 or 5 other weddings that they have to worry about.
They divide their time.
Yeah. So it's not all the attention on you. So keep that in mind too, like, you know, it's important to know that.
What was it that joke that I saw? Some people Christ.
What
Wait a
joke?
second.
Okay,
This is
what
great.
joke?
Hang
What
on.
joke?
This is a good joke.
Well, while we're
It's a good
waiting,
joke.
I'm
while
gonna.
we're waiting,
No, wait. It takes me 5 seconds. Hang on a second.
Only.
Here it is. See. Someday, when scientists discover the center of the universe, a lot of people are going to be disappointed to find out it isn't them.
yeah.
Yeah. Rude awakening.
Hello.
Val, do we have a song or something?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good
Do
question.
we have a song?
There's a lot of good songs. I was gonna say
There are.
There's one song I was actually thinking about. It's for the first, I guess your first dance, you could call it. It's which one is it? I don't think we mentioned it because I was looking at the list of how many songs we said, and again, I'm watching Vampire Diaries again, so that doesn't help. So no, so I'm like, oh yeah. So it's season 1 of Vampire Diaries. It's what song is it? It's called. I forget the name, but it's in Vampire Diaries. It's not coming to me.
It's from Vampire Diaries?
Yes, season 1. They have the good
I don't
songs.
know. Well, I mean, they do have
Yeah,
good songs.
it's not by Ed Sheeran. It's
Here, I'm going to check it out.
I don't remember. Oh yes, it's "Gimme Love" by Ed Sheeran, I think.
Well, then there
yeah,
you go.
there you go. It's "Gimme Love" by Ed Sheeran, and it just plays in the background of season 1. Like
I
it's
love it.
barely,
Okay. I love
it's
it.
barely, but I'm like, gotcha. So that's the song.
That's the song. Ed
I
Sheeran.
love it.
It's just like anyways,
If it's a nice song,
it's a
then
good
that's
song.
Val's choice.
yeah, it's a good song.
So you know
I
what
love
time it is now, right?
It's the
Val,
time
I'm
of the
putting
time
that-
of the time. We have a timeline.
You
Yes.
look at that camera
Yes.
right there. Oh, the one that
This one.
the one that Lisa's destroying. So
We're
look
gonna piss
into
him
that
off
camera
now. Watch,
and
I'm gonna piss him off.
children. Yes, you. Wow. Okay, that's happening. Look into that camera and give us your thought of. So I would say it could be a thought of the day, but I would say give us a final thought on
the
the
timeline.
timelines. Yeah.
I think the best advice I could give for timeline is don't rush the timeline when you're creating it, because if you rush it, you're gonna miss like the important stuff. But also delegate tasks for the timeline. So when you're creating your timeline on whatever platform you use, ask, like, let's say, get help from family members, saying, hey, what do you want on the timeline? Is there anything important like traditions, rituals, anything important for other family members? Because it's about them too, right? It's still your day, but everyone's too.
Yeah.
So don't exclude anything. Like, let's say if your mom's like, oh, I want to play this song. Oh, sure, we'll add it in, saying, hey, request song, DJ this song, or something special, because it's your day and you only get one day to do this. So make sure if someone has something to say or wants to add something, add it in. That's the best,
Perfect.
I think, advice I could say.
Lisa, stare into the camera.
She's stare.
Look into it. And
Now.
give your thought of the thought.
Now.
Is everything a joke to you? This is serious stuff.
Serious business.
Yes. So it's very serious now. Now I'm going to discuss something that's very serious. It's the thought of the timeline. So I say just do what you feel. I'm not the type of person like I can work with a shell, but I can't work with specifics, because knowing me, I like spontaneous. So I'll probably do something that's out of the park.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So
fine.
I like to schedule myself on a day that's supposed to be for me or for the couple.
Yeah.
I can't work within that quadrant. I can work within the shell, but I cannot guarantee that at 8:05 I'm going to be standing saying everybody
8:02.
cheers, or because you always have those moments where people are clinking and they want you to make out, and
Yeah.
sometimes,
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that get there?
well, because that takes time.
It's originally a kiss. It was never make out.
It was just one kiss.
That's what I'm saying. I'm spontaneous. I don't go by the norm. Like if you go with how you feel, and I appreciate that. I appreciate there's timelines and there's valuable time to
Right.
be, to monitor. But that's your moment.
Yeah, it's your
like I don't
moment.
want it to be like carré,
No.
So
Just-
your thought is basically
Just go with
Live the
it.
moment.
yeah, follow the
go with it,
timeline
yeah.
and whatever happens happens.
That's right. Dang.
And I would give my thought of the thought of the thought, because it's very important, and I
Very
always come up with the most
Love it.
constructive.
Illustrious thought process.
The most important part of the timeline is when is the bar fucking open?
Like I'm surprised that one was coming.
That's what it's all about.
When
Yeah.
the bar's open, yeah, that's a big
Signature
one too.
drink or not.
or full open
It's all
bar.
about-
That's what the timeline is
It's
for.
all about signature
I
drinks.
never put that in because again, it's with the couple, like what
Yeah.
what they have in their package.
Well, as long as I know what
But
time.
as long as it's open and what's being served, then that should be good enough.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it works.
Awesome.
I think that works.
I'm very excited about timelines.
Yes.
That was great.
Can't go
That
wrong.
was good. That's
Yeah.
very informative.
It was very informative, and I'm very excited about timelines.
Yes.
I think
Great.
everything works. Who are you waving? Are you waving a fly? On that note, see, that was in time. That's spontaneous.
Yes.
To my point. So, thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks for chiming in. As
Yeah.
always been fun. It's always fun.
It
always
is
fun
fun.
here.
Look, we have no time. We are within our time
We're
frame,
in a time frame, yes.
but we're not timed as to when exactly we have to finish. But we're
Exactly.
in
A
our
frame.
we're in our chapter. But the words are closing this chapter.
By the time you finish what you're saying,
Well said.
everyone is more confused than than when they started watching. I was supposed to have clarity. Now Lisa just fucked me up the whole time. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I'm a
anymore.
poet. Alrighty, it was great. Well, seeing everybody because I
Yes.
know you're there.
You're there somewhere.
Yeah, nice seeing everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.